Cookout made it to the final six, y'all. That's what you call black people. That's what you call staying on code. That's what you call doing the right thing to get to the money. No, this has been a really interesting season, I will say, because it's really been a lot of ups and downs, highs and lows within the game. But I'm absolutely happy about what the Cookout has been able to accomplish. Y'all, I'm overjoyed. I had to rush up in here to do this one with y'all. Because at first, I was going to wait. At first, I was going to wait, y'all. Hey, Bright Star. I was going to wait at first, but y'all, the episode tonight is probably going to be interesting. And unfortunately, the Cookout made it to the sixth. But I think it's about to be slightly anticlimactic. Simply because even though the Cookout made it to the sixth, they have to turn on each other already. So I wanted to come through and give a quick rundown of what's been happening. But hey, Bright Star, how are you? What do you think about the sixth, Bright Star? What do you think about what's happening right now? I would love to know. And I know I was in the live of Victoriously Shay this morning, and her live was not on topic of Big Brother, but whenever I dropped down up in her chat, she was interested to know my opinion about this. And to be honest, on Thursday night, whenever history was made on this episode of Big Brother, I was really happy. I wouldn't say I was emotional, but I was just happy about it. Like, man, finally, after all of these seasons, after 23 seasons, finally, Black people have made it to the point to where somebody Black will win this game. If you didn't watch Thursday night's episode, the plan that the Cookout has been trying to execute since week 1 was executed perfectly. So in week 1, whenever the Cookout formed, they all decided to keep a close alliance of 6. Hey, Shay, I just mentioned you. They tried to keep a close alliance of 6 and make sure that each person had an exterior person outside of the alliance that was also on the outside, so that they could always go head to head with somebody. Y'all, they successfully eliminated all the white people. Now, that's the thing. People are having a problem with this season because it's too politically charged. But y'all, how many seasons have we seen where there have only been white people in the final 6? But now people want to be mad because it's just only Black people up in the final 6. I'm happy about it. And I'm happy that they were able to execute it in the way that they were. Bright Star said Hannah Wynn was right in time. Right. The fact that Claire went out first and then Alyssa, that was perfect. It couldn't have been done any better. And it's messed up for Hannah, though, because she had to form the final 2 with Alyssa, only for her to be the one that put Alyssa out. Hey, Tita, thank you for joining. Yes, please like my video, y'all. So, yeah, and I'm not going to be on here long unless people want to have a panel discussion. Which I will say, shout out to the people who were never watching Big Brother but started watching Big Brother because they come and listen to me talk about it. I'm happy I was able to inspire other people to watch it. I think that this has been a monumental season of Big Brother. And also, I wore red and blue today to commemorate 9/11. That was yesterday, y'all. Let's take a brief moment of silence about 9/11. Okay, so we got 9/11 out the way, y'all. We will never forget. But so, yeah, the Cookout is finally doing some things. But, y'all, it was short-lived. I mean, at least we were able to have a week of victory. But, y'all, We already turning on each other. So let me show y'all here my grid. I made sure that I loaded a couple of things. First off, my thumbnail that I have, y'all, that thumbnail is the best, I think. I think that's the best thumbnail that we could see at the Final Six. They've made history because never in history was an alliance so large able to make it to the end of the game in the way that they said that they would. So this right here is my thumbnail. These are all the black people who started this game off, and they stayed on code, worked together, didn't throw each other under the bus in order to make it here to the end. Shout out to the cookout. As sad as it is for me, I feel like something like this will probably never happen again in Big Brother history, which is really unfortunate because anything should be possible. But I truly believe that this is going to be a once in a lifetime thing that we will ever get to see, where the black people who started made it to the end together. But that's the cookout. So now on to the show and the spoilers. So with the show and the spoilers, y'all, this is what we got. Now these are the spoilers. This is the grid that we got. So after the double eviction in which Alyssa and Claire were both put out the house was left with Azah, Derek F, Xavier, Hannah, Tiffany, and Kylan. They did another HOH competition in which Kylan won. Kylan won the HOH, and I guess now because the cookout has made it to the end at this point, now it's starting to become a male versus female game in which the men are trying to get rid of the women. So because Kylan won the HOH, he done put up Tiffany and Hannah for eviction. He nominated them both. There was a whole veto competition that happened yesterday, y'all. And last night, late at night, is whenever I found out that Kylan won the power of veto. So because Kylan is trying to target a woman this week, he put them two up. He has the veto, but he doesn't plan to use the veto to save either one of them. Now, another thing that I think is interesting about it, and I'll take this down for right now. Another thing that I think is interesting about this is Kylan won the veto, but y'all, believe it or not, and Shay, you better still be up in here, Shay. Shay, do you know that Kylan almost lost this power veto competition to Big D? Do you know that Big D almost won? Do you know? It's either the veto comp. Thank you, Bright Star. It's either the veto comp or the HOH that Big D almost won, Shay. What you think? So now Big D think that he got some clout up in the game. He think he got some clout now because he came second in the competition. He came in second place, girl, and Kylan had to beat him. I think they said it was the BB Comics. Y'all remember BB Comics whenever they make everybody like a superhero or something like that in the comic books, and then you gotta figure out the different things with the puzzle. It's really a mental comp. It's a puzzle strategy. But so yeah, he came in second place. He almost beat Colin. Shay said, "Child." Oh, thank you, Tita. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Bright Star said right. Big D almost won both the HOH and the veto. Now Shay can't stand Big D, but Big D trying to pull his weight. One thing that I did notice up on the feeds though, which is going to be another spoiler. So it seems that Big D has been trying to now take credit for starting the cookout. When they made it to the final six, he came through and he said that he actually started the cookout. The reason why the cookout came together is because he started it. And he was sitting at the table with all of them when he decided to say this rubbish. When he decided to throw this lie out there, when he decided to say, he, of all people, the one who lays around on the couch all day, The one who don't try to win the competition. The one who can't win the competition. Said that he started the cookout. Now, of course, y'all know this offended Tiffany because Tiffany is like, no, you didn't. He said, yes, me, Xavier, and Ozzy started the cookout first. And he told Tiffany, and then you came to us after we had already started it, and you were on the plan with us. So, but we started it, and he is holding on to this lie. He is also saying that he is going to be the threat to win the HOH. He wanted to get rid of Tiffany himself, but I think after this week, I think that Big D will probably target Hannah. Will target Hannah next week if he does win the HOH, but that's a big if. But I mean, he trying to come through and play the game all of a sudden. I don't know why it took him so long, but now he want to try to play. So yeah, as you can see here, back to the grid, we have Alyssa, Claire, Sarah Beth, Derek X, and Brittany in jury right now. Now, if we will even look at this and see about people making it to the final two, how do you suppose this will happen? Now, the one thing that I am happy about is that I initially said that Derek F was going to be my favorite of the season and that Tiffany was going to be my favorite of the season. Well, Tiffany was going to be my second favorite. And I am happy to see that they have made it to the final six. But now when we look at the breakdown, especially because we know that the end of the game is nearing, I have to fix my hat. Especially since we know that the end of the game is nearing. When we look at how jury management is, because now is the time to really start thinking about jury management. So just the fact alone that we got Brittany, Derek X, Sarah Beth, Claire, and Alyssa here in the jury. They about to send Tiffany. So far, Tiffany is the target this week, y'all. So they about to send her up in that jury with them. Now, I understand Kylan having a vendetta and saying that he can't trust Tiffany. But if he was truly smart, I don't know that he would send Tiffany. Tiffany is the wrong person to be the first person out of the cookout to send to the jury, because I believe that's going to be horrible jury management. Because ultimately, Tiffany can go right up in there and tank this dang on jury. Tiffany can go tank the jury, take credit of starting the cookout, which she did, take credit about being the mastermind behind everything. She can take credit for a lot and then tank the jury against who might end up being in the final two. Now, I think that Tiffany, of course, is want Hannah or Ozzy to get to the end. But to be honest, y'all, as much as we have not respected Ozzy's gameplay this whole season, y'all, if any woman stands a chance to get further, it's going to be Ozzy. Because they underestimate her. She's not won anything. What's good, Tracy and everybody? Ozzy hasn't been on the block yet. And it's crazy because Ozzy ain't been on the block. Even whenever a person is HOH, she'll cuss their ass. She'll cuss their rump out whenever she feel like it. Even whenever the person is HOH, she will come through and say, hey, put me up, put me on the block. She just talk all crazy to the HOH with no fear whatsoever, and they still ain't put her rump up yet. I think that would be something that she could use to her advantage as far as making an argument. Because she really come through and not say anything. We already know Kylan is not going to put up Ozzy. Derek F surely ain't going to put up Ozzy. Xavier might put up Ozzy, but I doubt it because Xavier already knows that he has Ozzy in his back pocket. Now, one thing. Oh, Tracy, my Saints playing right now? Okay, girl, I got to. Look, I said I was going to be like a half hour. I was seeing people talk about ready for the game. Who the Saints playing right now, Tracy? Who we playing against? Y'all, today done been a busy day. I ain't even been on my football, like talking about it. Because typically I don't deal with the preseason like that. And so I really thought that we were still up in the preseason. But I guess now, yeah, we in September now. So it's probably time for the regular season. So after I finish this, I got to go take a look and see what my Saints going to do this season. That's a must. But yeah, I think that Tiffany would be the wrong person to put as far as tainting the jury. If anything, Kylan would be smarter. As sad as it is to say, Kylan would be smarter to put Azah out. Now, I know that y'all are thinking, oh, they playing the Packers. Okay. Now, I know that y'all are thinking that Azah is the easiest person to take to the end. But if I were Kylan and I had to target a woman because I want a woman out of there, I would put Azah. Azah will go to the jury house and not be able to tell them anything. I mean, what can she tell them? What has she done to contribute to the cookout? What has she done to contribute to the game? What did she do to propel the cookout forward? Who was even talking game with her? Who? Who talked game with Azah for Azah to be able to go in the jury house and blow up somebody's game? Now, the thing is, Tiffany Rump done talk game to everybody. So the fact that they would even put her out like that, I'm just saying that would be the most logical thing that I would do if I was Kylan. Tiffany knows everybody's game, including Kylan's game. She's going to be able to go and tell people and persuade people. And the thing is, they're going to give Tiffany enough time to stay up in that house and actually tank the jury. I think Azah has played a great social game, and I feel like she doesn't get credit for the social game that she's played because truly nobody has had her on the radar. She could do or say whatever she wants, and nobody is really looking at her about anything. But I will say that out of all the women in the game, I think she is the most clueless about what is all going on. I think Azah just knows that the cookout are the black people stuck together, but that's all she really knows. I don't think that she understands the different pivots and dynamics of how they were able to get this far to the 6. And that's my opinion. Yeah, nobody was talking game to Azah. So I know for certain that Azah would not be able to spill the tea on anybody's game in the jury house, but Tiffany will. This is when we are in the jury management phase of the game. And people have these short victories. Yes, the cookout made it to the 6. I'm happy. But this is going to be a short victory because at the end of the day, you still got to manage that jury to make sure that if you make it to the last 2, they're going to pick you. You got to. And when you put a mastermind like Tiffany, be the first one to get up in there with all them white people, because let's be honest, y'all. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it all the way a buck. They about to send Tiffany ass, her masterful ass, her mastermind ass, to be the first member of the cookout up in there with them white people. So that she could go ahead and manipulate the situation, go ahead and switch up the target, go ahead and say who did what and what she know and tell everybody's business. Go ahead and say, Sarah Beth, Kylan never cared about your, y'all was about to cuss. Kylan never cared about your rump, Sarah Beth. She gonna go up in there and be like, Brittany, you were always the target. They didn't care about you. If you thought for any chance that Derek F cared about you, he did it. He didn't care about the jokers. He only cared about Azah. She's going to be able to go and tank them. Bright Star said, Sarah Beth did a jury house interview, and when they asked her who does she miss the most from the house, she said Azah and Big D. She didn't even utter Colin's name. She ain't uttering Colin's name because I think she holding a grudge. But if we want to look at it seriously based on who is left, who do y'all think? Let me put the thing back up. And hey to You Go Girl 2019. What's good? Thank you for joining. And let me see if I missed anything that You Go Girl said. Oh, she said, you're right, Jada. Tiffany should be the last one. Right. She gonna mess with them. They not even thinking. They really not even thinking. What Tracy is saying, Sarah Beth is bitter, but Bright Star said Sarah Beth isn't. I think Sarah Beth is. It seemed like she wasn't bitter, But I wonder if she was just giving a politically correct answer to the question about what she thought about her going to the jury and all of this. But now, okay, so let me go back here to the grid one more time. So based on what we see here, who do y'all think? Okay, with us knowing for sure that Tiffany is going out, even though Tiffany plans to fight, she even said, don't lose hope on the live feeds. She did a whole live feeds whisper like to the feeders. And what she ended it was saying that she still got one card up her sleeve. Do not lose hope. And she meant that. Which that means she's going to have to turn on Hannah. If she only got one card left, then she got to turn on Hannah in order to save herself. But in the event that Tiffany is the one to go this week, out of the 5 that's going to be left, y'all tell me who y'all think will end up being the final 3. If Tiffany is out this week, and we got Kylan, Hannah, Xavier, Derek F., and Azah, who do you think will be the final 3? For some reason, I feel like this upcoming week, HOH, because Kylan is not going to be able to play because he was already HOH this week. So this upcoming week, I think that it's really going to be a toss-up with Hannah and Xavier. And Hannah is already saying on the live feeds that she cannot wait to win HOH so she could put up Xavier and Kylan. Hannah is mad that they don't put her and Tiffany up there because we can't forget, Hannah and Tiffany did have a final 2 together. They had a final 2 where they were going to try to go to the end together. But one thing that I will say is crazy too is Hannah is kind of turning on Tiffany slightly. But I mean, what do you expect whenever you are on the block next to somebody? I mean, I guess you can't have their back forever whenever your back is against the wall. Let me see what y'all said. Okay, so Bright Star said, wait until Azah sees how Big D really sees how behind her back he said some shady-ish. He lied to her about his deal he made with Kai and X and asked him again today, and he brushed it off, shaking my head. Okay, so You Go Girl said the 3 guys. Tracy said X, DF, and Kylan. So the 3 guys. Bright Star said the final 3 is the men. The ladies are going to be gone. So everybody thinking the men gonna take it. So y'all don't think that this is not going to ignite something in Hannah? Because y'all, if we're going to be honest, anytime that Hannah needed to win, she won. We ain't seen yet where Hannah didn't win when she needed to win. Hannah ran her rump out there and won that veto when she needed to win it. Hannah ran her rump out there and won the HOH during the double eviction when she needed to win it. And what most people are failing to realize, y'all, I believe this Thursday is another double eviction. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know? This Thursday is going to be another double from what I've heard. I will have to check my sources. But from what I've heard, it's another double. So if Hannah doesn't win this next HOH and they send Tiffany out and it's a double and Hannah don't win, then Hannah going out next. And as we saw on Thursday, Hannah wins that HOH when she needs to win it. And at this particular point, she already sitting on that block. She's going to need to win this. Okay, so yeah, it's another double eviction. She's going to need to. Bright Star said, but remember, X hasn't even shown us how much of a comp beast he really is. So he can turn up. He could. But I mean, he has shown us a little bit of the what kind of beast he is. Because he won, I think he won the veto up in the double eviction. Yeah, that's how they was able to get Alyssa out, because he won the veto. Hannah won the HOH. Wait. X won something, but I get what you're saying, Bright Star. But yeah, he could very well turn up at a certain point in the game. But at this point, is it necessary? Because we all know when it comes to these last few HOHs, some HOHs matter and some don't. The main HOHs that typically matter are like the last two HOHs. So would it make sense for X to win HOH in the double? Because then all that would mean is that he cannot compete for the next week's HOH. We getting down to the wire, y'all. We getting all the way down to the wire and running out of people. Now, I don't know if I was X that I would turn up, because it could very well mean him throwing it and then he sit on the block next to Colin. Now, that's one thing that X can say on his resume. What's good, JJ? That's one thing that X can say up on his resume is that his rump does sit on the block anytime he needs to sit on the block. He done sat on the block. He didn't complain. He done been on the block like 4 or 5 times and didn't go home. You know, he might think that it's the best bet for him to sit on the block next to Kylan, because I know if Hannah wins, she putting up X and Kylan. Big D got such a crush on Kylan that I don't think that he will vote out Kylan. I don't think he would. Not to mention, if Big D was smart, Big D would keep Kylan and vote out X, so that would bring Azah closer to him. Because as long as X is up in the house, Big D ain't going to have Azah's loyalty 100%. X is definitely an obstacle for Big D, because Azah is so in love with this man, and this man son her all the time. She be like, X, let's cuddle, and he be like, nah, I'm good, cuz. She be like, X, let's do this, let's do that, and he be like, nah, I'm good. Like, he do that to her all the time, but she still keep trying. So I think it would be if Hannah won and put up X and Colin, I think that it would be in the best interest of Big D to keep Colin, get rid of X. Azah would probably try to keep X and get rid of Kylan. And then it would be stuck at a tiebreaker in which Hannah, the HOH, would have to break the tie. I mean, y'all, we getting down to the wire. Oh, David. Tracy, I already made fun of him laying on the couch all day. But he really up in that house trying to take credit for the cookout, not that the cookout that made it this far. The cookout finally made it to the 6, and he running around here talking about he was the mastermind, it was his idea and all that. But at this point, y'all, they running out of numbers. We at the 6. Once Tiffany is gone, we're going to be at the 5. Somebody's going to have to break a tie if it end up being a tie. I really think that, I'm trying to think, if Hannah was HOH and she had to break a tie between Kyla and Xavier, yeah, I think if Hannah was HOH and had to break a tie between sending home Kylan or Xavier, I think she would send home Kylan, because Kylan got her on the block right now. She would send Kylan out because Kylan has her right now on the block with Tiffany. I think she's going to hold a grudge about that. Even if she can throw up Kylan and Xavier, I think that she will be more willing to break the tie in favor of Xavier than Kylan. He is the biggest threat. But I'm just thinking, because right now I feel like they played strategically up into the 6. But now that they have made it to the 6, I think it's becoming an emotional game, to where strategy and logic really is being thrown out the window. Because again, if they were not playing an emotional game like that, then why is Kylan trying to send out Tiffany this week? Again, Tiffany should not be the first one to go into the jury from the cookout. She's going to be able to poison the whole jury. And I'm sure she's going to poison the whole jury on Kylan, because Kylan is the one that got her out. Oh, welcome back, Shay. Bright Star said, Hannah already said to the cam that she taking Kylan hands down. Oh, I know that she taking him out. Yeah, I know. And that's the only thing that would make sense. That is the only thing that would actually make sense for Hannah to do. Not to mention, Hannah already knows that Kylan has Sarah Beth already up in the jury. Sarah Beth would probably, if Kylan got to the final two in any way, shape, or form, I'm thinking Sarah Beth would try to convince people to let Kylan win. I think. Unless Tiffany goes up in there and poisons the jury like what I said she is going to do. That's my thought. Bright Star said, Hannah is gutsy and fearless. I love her courage. She's coming for Kai and Xavier. She should. She should. At this point, Kai and Xavier trying to come for her and Tiffany. Kai and Xavier about to get Tiffany right on up out of there. So it's only smart of her to go ahead and come for them next. Oz ain't a threat. Big D ain't a threat. If Hannah legitimately was able to get out X and Kylan, Hannah done won the game. Hannah done won the game. Therefore, it is very, very... Who used to talk like that with the thumb? I think that was Barack Obama. Used to be like, it is very, very paramount for Hannah to win the HOH in this double eviction coming up. It's very important. It's very important, folks. So that's really what I got to say about that. I guess, do I have time to drop the link? I could drop the link real quick. I really like this channel being smaller because it's more intimate. I'll drop the link real quick. But yeah, that's just really my commentary. It's unfortunate that we made it finally to the 6th, but it's going to be short-lived. Okay, Bright Star, that was Obama. Yeah, it is very, very... He's wrong. But yeah, I think it's bittersweet. We made it to the 6th and barely had 2 days of a celebration with them making it to the 6th, and now they just rolling into another double. The 6th gonna be cut down to 4. But the main thing is that the winner this year will be a Black person. The winner will be a Black person. And so that's important. I think it's interesting how the Black men are turning on the women right now. But at the end of the day, if the Black men are able to flip on the women of the cookout, y'all, I couldn't be 100% upset by it, just because I've watched them carry the cookout. Like, in all fairness, Kylan and Xavier and their comp wins are what helped carry the cookout as far as it's got. Tiffany has comp wins too, but a couple of those were just thrown to her. So can she really be the competitor? Now, for Hannah's comp wins were not thrown to her. She actually earned hers. But some of Tiffany's comp wins are very questionable. But that still doesn't take away the fact that she was very strategic with how she was able to form the Cookout Alliance and how she was able to maneuver, even to the point of her backstabbing Claire. So yeah, we made it this far, y'all. I'm proud about it. Bright Star said Obama smooth with it. Like how you doing it. And then Bright Star said they will be shocked. It's a double Thursday. I know. And I wish that they could know that the double is coming up, but I think that's going to make the episode even more spicy. The fact that everybody is going to be caught off guard that there's a double. Because really all they talking about is getting rid of Tiffany. And then they think they're going to have a chance to regroup to figure out their next thing. But, okay, get rid of Tiffany, and then you're going to have to play back to back again, and then who you going to get rid of next? And I'm telling you, if Hannah managed to win when she needs to win, like what she already just did this past Thursday, it's going to be a whole different game. Derek F. done already came in second place twice, y'all. I doubt that he'll come in second place during the double. But I mean, it has to be fair to say that he didn't came in second place. Azah has never won a comp, has never been put on the block, and just might be in the final two. Y'all, this has been an interesting season. Bright Star said, right. They just focused on Kyle and not using the veto on Tiff. Yeah. And they don't even know what's coming later. So we'll see how the cookie crumbles. But yeah. I didn't realize the Saints were playing right now, so I'm definitely going to cut this short. Thank y'all for joining me each and every time. Please like the video. If you have sharing capability, share the video. Let people know about it. And y'all don't have to just share it on YouTube. If you want to share on Twitter, Instagram, wherever, you can share. But yeah, I'm happy that y'all support me whenever I come on here. It's getting down to the wire. But at least we know that the cookout really did make history. A Black person is going to win $750,000 this year, no matter what. A Black person will win $750,000, no matter what. Y'all, I ain't even winning the $750,000, but I'm happy for them. And to be honest, at the end of the day, I don't even matter which one of them win. I'm just happy that a Black person will be winning this year. That's it. Bright Star said, Colin is sort of misleading Tiff about the possibility of using the veto. The Backyard Life said, new here, pretty interesting. Got my notification on. Thank you, that Backyard Life. I appreciate it. And yeah, everybody enjoy. Thank y'all for joining me. Y'all take care. Be blessed. No stress. I'll talk to y'all later. The cookout is up in the building. The cookout